It's like, don't you, boys? It happens to all of us, doesn't it? You get it wrong, of course, with a lady, and then suddenly it gets a little bit tricky. This happened, of course, before to the former well known as Prince Harry, alongside Meghan Markle. And I don't know about you, but it always brings a bit of a smile to my face, because it's a bit like the Laurel and Hardy thing, you know, where the fat one has a go and the thin one ends up pulling his hair out saying, did I get it wrong again? And stuff like that. This is truly what happened behind the scenes with Meghan and Harry on that. Now, some might say, a bit of a disastrous Colombia tour. As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time today. Nice to have your company. We're at the Dorchester. Yes, the home, of course, to many people. I don't know about you, when I think of the Dorchester, I think of all the glamorous movie stars, you know, the Gene Simmons, the Stuart Granger, but a lot of people, and recently because she's been back in the news, of course, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, much of their scene was played out here, as of course was the terrible illness that she went through and pulled through. And this was the place apparently where it already kicked off with Eddie Fisher. Yes, well, if those walls could talk in that suite, eh? Fascinating stuff. Still as beautiful as ever today. And of course, you've got to be mega rich. That's why we're outside. You understand? I'm just hoping that somebody might leave a cup to sip on, you know what I'm saying? On a serious note, that lovely, lovely place. If you do get a chance, have you ever stayed here? Has anybody ever stayed here in the company, you know, in our group, our chum, should I say? Because I've never stayed, but it's always there. I've done quite a few bits of filming in here, you know, with celebrities and stuff like that. Always really nice. You just know you're in money, don't you? It's a little bit like Meghan and Harry over in Colombia. They clearly thought they were in money, and of course, when you think about it, things literally sort of got off to a bit of a bad start. But when you think also, you do kind of think, this is the problem that you have when these tours are not put together professionally. And you know, what happens with the British monarchy is they're very much thought out about who you're meeting, what you're going to wear, all of that sort of stuff. Now, I feel a little bit sorry in this particular instance for none other than the former well known as the Duchess of Sussex, simply because this is the second time this has happened again in the public domain. If you remember way back when they were visiting the beautiful Canada House just off Trafalgar Square, she emerged from that meeting, sadly, shall we say, with a few marks under her, well, pullover, sweater, whatever you people call it around the world. And that apparently really caused something of a breakdown behind the scenes. This has similarly happened behind the scenes with tears and screaming and anger because sadly Meghan in caramel, whatever you want to call it, I know I'm not a fashionista, but when she was at the recent event and then stood up to have the picture taken, sadly she got a little bit warm on her tummy and another area, which is picked up of course by the world's media. But as I said, I feel a little bit sorry for Prince Harry because behind the scenes she went tonto. Now on the official pictures, naturally it's been removed and stuff like that, but as you can imagine, this was not the image that she wanted. And according to that source, who's working very closely at the moment, basically she couldn't understand why he didn't highlight that, perhaps even move in front of her, offer her a jacket, or ask for a comfort break, as these things are called. And well, let's just put it this way, if you're wondering why Harry has looked slightly sullen throughout the rest of the tour, then you can understand exactly the reasons why this truly went wrong. Either way, things have not panned out well for Meghan. This was meant to be the resplendent return, of course, of the fashionista. Terrible stains like that really are going to stay, and more importantly, people are always going to use them against you. Either way, Meghan was either very nervous of that particular interview, meeting, speech, or simply it's just a natural bodily function. But for her, it's proven disaster. For Prince Harry, it's proven a lot of earache, tears, shouting, and silence. We all know that now, don't we? Neil Sean, Dorchester, London.